Gentlemen and female gentlemen, we are doing a lore dive. It has been highly requested by chat. Unfortunately, the lore frogs win and the drama frogs lose on this day. So, let's see what we got here. Everyone's been telling me to do the bizarre lore of Team Fortress 2. Okay, so this is made by Chupo. Everyone wants me to do TF2 lore so that I can get into all the weird TF2 animations and stuff. I have no idea what to expect. Everyone's telling me, yo, you have to meet the team. And I'm like, what team am I needing to meet? I don't understand. But anyway, we're diving into TF2 lore. Apparently the lore is crazy. And as you know, I have a lore tier list where I rank all lores I've consumed. So we gotta consume this one to see where it would go. All right, let's see what we got.
Team Fortress has remained one of the most well-known and popular FPS series for decades at this point. And during all this time, a story has been built that somehow makes sense in the end. So
see, this is the shock. See, I thought TF2 was all about, like, random fighting, flamethrowering women. What I didn't expect was the fact that there's actual lore to TF2 that created a story. I remember the clip, the TF2 clip with the women clip. The legendary fated women TF2. Let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This clip. This is the clip that I know of TF2.
Women.
Oh god, dude, it gets me every single time. So that clip is literally the extent of my understanding of TF2. But I have an important message for all of you.
Your constant harassment of the female gender makes me sick.
That's all I have to say about that. So anyway, women, am I right?
So join me as I go over everything you need to know about this universe.
All right, let's go.
Hi everybody, I'm here on a rooftop. You know, I'm just in a chaotic mood, pouring water and dropping loose change on pedestrians.
Oh my god, he's just like me, for real, for real.
Blinding pilots with this magnifying glass.
Oh my god, he's just like me, for real, for real.
And of course,
it's not easy being a menace to society. A lot of people think that I could just wake up in the morning, put my nipples on one pant leg at a time, and then just be a menace to society. It is not easy. It is hard, groundbreaking labor. I have attained chaotic neutrality, making fun of all fuckerinos everywhere on the internet, doing whatever the fuck I want. Definitely subscribe for some chaotic neutrality. But it's not easy. It's work. It's effort. God, everyone thinks it's so easy to be a menace to society.
You can forget about cutting ropes that are lifting grand pianos up multiple stories for some reason. So Team Fortress 2, TF2, whatever you want to call it, surprisingly coherent story. The best way to describe it is as chaotic, and you'll...
Are you my new best friend?
See that in about 30 seconds, I would say. So Team Fortress takes place on an alternate version of Earth with a few major differences.
Wait, it does? I thought it was like a post-apocalypse.
A majority of gameplay occurs in New Mexico, but before I'm actually able to explain why that is, first we gotta take a look at the centuries of history before any modern mercenaries fight each other.
Alright, bro. Fuck, we're going into the whole ass timeline of alternate Earths. I admit, this is not what I was expecting at all.
Let's start off between the 1500s to the 1800s. Many historical figures do about what they normally do, but they get a little bit wackier with it.
What is this stock image?
Most US presidents in this story slept near gas leaks, and everyone else took a swig of the silly juice. Like, to give an idea, hats are a sign of wealth with a caste system in real...
Makes sense, makes sense. That's why I always trust people with hats. If you don't wear a hat, the chances of trusting you are about 15% lower than if you are wearing a hat. People with hat are just higher class, that's a fact.
World figures like William Prescott would shoot poor people to decrease the ratio of people without hats.
Is this actually fucking real? Is this actual TF2 lore? Here, this guy's wearing 3 hats, one on top of each other, so this guy's higher class of society. William Prescott going out there fucking actually euthanizing the hatless to increase the fucking ratio of hat to hatless people? Is this actually in the fucking lore of Team Fortress 2? That is fucking awesome. That is wonderfully insane. Holy shit. I came into this story expecting just random fat guys with flamethrowers lighting women on fire. Okay, that's what I expected. But somehow that was topped.
Compared to some of the other stuff down the line, this is nothing. First,
what?
Stop, let's say hello to Shakespeareocles, the strongest.
Is this real? Is this actually a real character in TF2 lore? The tier list is looking mighty thin right now. I will admit, I am surprised. Shakespeareocles?
Writer who's ever lived. Not only was he a literary genius, but he was also just a regular genius, inventing the stage play, the rocket jumper, and America.
He did invent America. What?
Downfall comes when he invents the multiple-story building, but not stairs. Up to this point, stairs never existed, and they won't for a very long time.
I can't even tell if he's making this shit up as he goes around, if this is just a fever dream, or if he's actually talking about actual shit. How do you invent the multiple-story building without stairs?
So the only way folks would go up the stories was...
No, not with a rocket jumper. There's no fucking way. No way he invented the rocket jumper to fucking climb stories of buildings.
Through rocket jumping,
No!
which is the process of jumping as you shoot a rocket from a rocket launcher.
That's backwards.
Propelling yourself upwards. This becomes...
Guys, we found the new best lore of all time. I'm 1 minute into the lore dive and it's already going into S tier. I will consume all lore, I'll have you know. I, Lord Nuxanor, consumer of all lore, whether it's Monster Hunter, whether it's fucking Elden Ring, whether it's goddamn Team Fortress 2, it will all be consumed. I have never seen anything like this. This is Plants vs. Zombies, but on crack.
Comes about as ordinary as skateboarding,
Right.
where a lot of people know how to do it, but it's really
Sure.
scary when you get into it.
Makes
So Tony
sense.
Hawk will be the pioneer of rocket jumping. Then a 200-year gap happens where everything's roughly the same, but also not really. The Revolutionary War for America, the Boston
Right.
Tea Party, all that
Right.
stuff happens in America.
Cool.
But George
Okay, makes sense.
Washington considers himself a failure for never being able to become invisible. And
I'm just gonna take everything he says as fact at this point because he could fucking say anything and I will believe him. People in chat are saying yes, this is canon. He won the Revolutionary War, but he considered himself a failure because he never became invisible. Listen, I've done a lot of media analysis over my day. I have consumed a lot of lore, but I am impressed by the fucking insanity that I'm witnessing right now. I strive to be chaotic neutral to such a degree.
military officer Benedict Arnold commits the crime of refusing to eat soup offered to him. In 1788, a man named Nicholas Crowder is among the first people to leave Britain and head to Australia.
Right.
Partway, though, he changes his mind and moves to the South Pole, then
Right.
making a deal with a foreign mafia and
Right.
taking over both poles, somehow gaining mythical powers.
Team Fortress 2 just looked at me and said, "You merely adopted the chaos. I was born in it." I'm shaking. I don't even know what the fuck I'm listening to. This is Team Fortress 2 lore! Bro wanted to go to Australia, accidentally went to the South Pole, controlled the powers of the North and South, and became a god? What the fever dream, Zaza, grass-sucking schnizzle am I watching right now? Is this the actual lore? Guys, I wanted to do Team Fortress 2 because I figured it would be less insane than Fortnite lore. This is so much crazier.
Thus beginning the horrors of Old Nick, who, unlike Santa, abducts naughty children to make them cool weapons and hats that he would eventually sell in a get-rich-quick scheme.
It's fucking reverse Santa Claus, where he traffics children instead of gives them presents. Canon Santa Claus of TF2 is just Andrew Tate.
So he's like a 3 out of 10 Santa. Then
Right.
in 1822, a businessman for a company called Manco named Zephaniah Mann loses his wife when she gives birth to triplets. Now the first
right.
two he names Redmond and Blutarch, and they
Redmond and Blutarch. All right, makes sense.
grow up to become stupid idiots who are dumb idiots. They're dumb and stupid, and their
right.
BMIs are higher than their IQ.
Okay, understandable. But they're wearing hats, so they're obviously a higher class of society.
Dum-dums. Now, the third son is completely different, hyper-intelligent, invented a new form of algebra. At this age,
Invented new algebra. Guys, I have just discovered that 1 times 0 might actually be 1.
he can already talk, as the father plans to smother him to death and eagle swoops
Why? Why would he kill his one intelligent son?
in and takes him his food. This is a problem at the time.
obviously, yes.
Now, Gray
America, classic America, am I right?
is actually going to survive this instance. When dropped off to the eagle nest, he kills the mother eagle
Holy
along
shit.
with her babies before
Oh my
crawling
God.
back to civilization and using his intellect to grow an empire. 28 years will then pass, and in 1850, Redmond and Blutarch, now working in Manco with Zephaniah, convinces him to purchase a shit ton of land in New Mexico.
Honestly, pretty good advice.
Unfortunately, on account of the brothers having his
You need your fucking meth business to do well. This is just the prequel to Breaking Bad. A lot of people don't know this.
many brain cells as I have eyelashes, it turns out all of this land is going to end up being useless desert
What?
and nothing more than the gravel capital of the world.
No,
And
but you could literally sell so much meth.
then all of a sudden, Zephaniah frickin' dies and stuff. He has unfinished business. He's going to be stuck on Earth forever. Heaven and hell exist in this story, by the way.
Just gonna drop this here. Talking about these fucking hat people that reject soup and get instantly murked.
Now, Zeph is a bit salty about spending his final years with all this useless desert space, so on his will, he gives his friend Barnabas Hale the company of Manco, he gives his assistant Elizabeth the company to watch over, and he gives his 2 sons the useless land perfectly equally, where the—
Oh my fucking god, this guy! Zechariah also contracted every single plague in existence before he died.
Bros are gonna keep fighting over it for the rest of their lives.
Oh my god! And he left his son. This is actually canon. I can't believe this is like an actual storyline. This is the history before Team Fortress 2. How did that even happen? And he left his sons nothing. Nothing but the useless land they'd convinced him to buy. And he gave it to them to share, so they'd fight over it until the day they died. What the fuck father does that shit?
And beginning what will be known as the Gravel Wars.
Oh my god. That is the red versus blue in Team Fortress 2. That's red versus blue. It all stems from 2 sons whose dad died and spitefully left them useless shit land for them to fight over for eternity. That is the tragic backstory behind this endless feud.
So then they each hire mercenaries to fight over the land indefinitely. The first batch of mercs includes a few folks like Nikola Tesla.
Obviously, classic Nikola Tesla fighting over gravel in Albuquerque.
And this guy, he looks neat, but most importantly, Abraham Lincoln.
The fuck is going on? What? I mean, before, what did Abraham Lincoln really do before he took over Mars, right, guys?
As the Team Pyro.
Yeah.
In 1857, Abraham Lincoln finally invents stairs and dies trying in the middle of rocket jumping to his stairs in his lab in the Ford Theater, where...
It was 200 years between inventing skyscrapers and inventing stairs. And he died rocket jumping onto his stairs in a theater. I will emancipate your head from your body.
John Wilkes Booth, known for his Tower of Hats, also assassinates him, wanting to get the top hat.
How on earth does he die in 2 different ways? How did he die because he rocket jumped and missed the stairs, but also died because he got assassinated by John Wilkes Booth? How are you gonna explain? He got killed for his hat? Not because he was the president of the United States and racism shit, but he killed him because, you see guys, stairs are just a metaphor for slavery. And now slavery is built on a system where people walk on each other in order to get to greater heights. So we invented stairs, a way to grow without needing to put human lives beneath you. It's a metaphor.
In my opinion, Lincoln's death is the 3rd most embarrassing way to die, right outside of forgetting to drink water and smoking. This
that honestly true, honestly based.
Tragedy scares all scholars enough to where they agree to never invent anything ever again.
Please tell me this isn't canon. He invented stairs and then died to stairs. So scholars for the rest of time decide never to invent things, so they live in a constant stasis for the rest of time. In their fucking back-asswards situation in the middle of Albuquerque.
Instead opting to learn exclusively astrology.
No.
Now by this time...
No! All of science has been diverted to astrology!
The son of Barnabas Hale, Bilius Hale, has taken his father's position and proceeds to beat the shit out of John Wilkes Booth as he holds him down, letting the public take turns shooting the criminal in a public execution.
That's pretty based, honestly. That's pretty based. I like that, yeah.
This is also around the time where the most valuable resource is discovered, something objectively more powerful than gold and oil combined.
Oh, shit.
Australium, named after...
That's not real. That's not real. What?
Something objectively more powerful than gold and oil combined. Australium.
I can't. Australium? I don't even know what to say. I am like so lost. I have never been this lost consuming lore in my life.
Named after the country it was founded in.
Well, yes, I get it.
Australium can easily change states of matter and is absurdly valuable. By the start of the 20th century, they already attained an advanced country by our standards. And it's basically vibranium.
How? Wait, they lived in a technological stasis. They didn't invent stairs, but they discover freaking Australium, and booyah, we have entered a new age of a perfect society.
But instead of being given to a mostly peaceful and pretty cool bunch of people It's given to Australia. Good lord, everyone else is in
Oh my fucking god, we're cooked.
danger now. Just by being exposed to the materials, the Australians all get giant muscles, majestic facial hair, and become obsessed with drinking and fighting.
Wait, so in the canon, the reason why Australians are all beefy, hairy guys that are always brawling is because they're poisoned by the Australium? I mean, honestly, that explains some lore plot holes of the real world, so that's pretty awesome.
This shit's laced with testosterone.
Let's
When
go.
the Australian will run out, so will everyone's abilities. So
Right.
it's real important that that doesn't happen.
Of course.
Otherwise, the Australians become squishy baby humans again. But not
Right, we don't want that, obviously. Yeah.
really, because like the Outback is scary, dude. And even though he's not alive until the
Oh my god, look at this guy. Peak human physique.
mid-1900s, Saxton Hale is the exception. Even though he is Australian, he doesn't lose his abilities. Maybe he fell into a pot of it as a baby. Maybe he worked so hard to give his abs, he's immune. Or maybe
Right.
it's because he's Saxton frickin' Hale. Does it matter? 1890.
Wait, so this man, they invented an actual plot hole? So you're telling me Team Fortress 2 develops this entire idea for lore, how there's this thing called Australium, and Australium is so powerful, it makes Australians Superman. But if they run out of Australians, they become Australium, the Australians become little squishy manlets. Except for this one guy who's him, the end. It's a plot hole, but fuck you. He's just walked out of Grappler Baki.
He's immune. Or maybe it's because he's Saxton
Look at this fucking guy. Is the continent of Australia on his chest? Oh my god.
frickin' Hale. Does it matter?
Right.
1890 is when another era occurs.
Saxton, when another era occurs.
Redmond and Plutarch have
Oh my god, they're still fucking fighting here on this fucking dirt land.
been fighting for 40 years at this point with
Right.
no progress on either side. They both have agreed whoever dies first loses. And as the brothers near old age, Plutarch gets the idea to simply outlive Red and hires Radigan Conacher to make him an immortality machine.
Yo! Whoever lives longer gets the land, so I'll simply become immortal!
That runs on liquid Australium,
He's injecting Australium into his veins.
capable of keeping him alive for seemingly until Australium runs out. However, Elizabeth, still working for Manco for some reason, hires Radigan to give Redmond the same machine, thus making the endless battle.
Oh my fucking god! Women, am I right, guys? Classic woman moment. This guy's poisoning himself to live for eternity. So what does she do? She gives the same fucking poison to the other guy, so their feud never ends ever. Ever. In the history of time.
Battle becomes super duper.
Bro, I cannot even believe what I am seeing right now.
Women.
This is not acceptable. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable.
Endless. This means nothing. The brothers are still at the same point. In
Actual stalemate for eternity. Holy shit.
1921, the Staircase Saga finally comes to an end
Dub.
when American President Franklin D. Roosevelt loses his legs in a rocket jump disaster. And
No way.
he gets so peeved how not wheelchair accessible America is, he stumbles upon Abraham Lincoln's notes and finally invents the proper staircase. In the 1930s,
Oh my fucking god, what is even going on? He had a wheelchair, so he invented stairs. That makes no fucking sense. That doesn't make any sense. He lost his legs rocket jumping, and then he realized that rocket jumping isn't safe. So since he was in a wheelchair, he invented stairs, which doesn't make it any better. I don't know, man. I'm just waiting for it to get to Trump versus Kamala Harris, bro.
through the mid-1960s, a lot is going to start happening. Now, you might notice there's actually a number next to the word Team Fortress.
Honestly true. Why is it called Team Fortress 2? Fantastic question.
This number is controversially known as a 2. In this case, it implies that there is a second Team Fortress, meaning that chances are there might just be another Team Fortress game.
Shit.
That's what happens in the 1930s. Team Fortress Classic takes place during this time. And guess what?
Right.
This means nothing. Nothing changes. The war is the same. But it happened. It's around this time that...
Wait, so this is all Team Fortress 2 lore. Team Fortress 1 is completely it's inconsequential to the world in every possible way.
Saxton will finally inherit Manco.
Right.
He makes hats and weapons.
Why is he here? How'd he get here from Australia?
And all this stuff the brothers used to fight, quickly growing to become one of the richest men in America and hunting down all of those ahead of him. In his free time, he's gonna get a girlfriend named Maggie and hunt down any powerful animals he can find, thus making many—
This guy's a fucking legend. Holy shit. Bro came out of King and Ashura to join Team Fortress 2.
Species go
Saxton Hale, that's how— I get it!
extinct. This creates a lifelong rivalry with his old teacher, Charles Darwin, the inventor—
What? Yes, okay. I love how he had to specify that this is an alternate version of Earth. But at the same time, you have people from completely different points of history just existing in random spots.
inventor of the zoo, and
Darwin invented the zoo in Team Fortress 2?
and the protector of all wildlife, who saves animals from Saxton's Australianness. In this
True, he is very Australian. All Australians are known to be menaces in the animal kingdom, that's true.
period, so much happens. Mercenaries swap out or die or retire, and all of that. The fight's going, but there still is one more thing worth noting. It's unknown what actually happens to Elizabeth, but the mantle is given to her granddaughter Helen, more commonly known as the administrator. She's gonna hire an assistant that goes by Miss Pauling, and just like her grandma, the administrator is pushing for perfect neutrality.
Why? Why does the administrator need to do this stuff? Why do these people need to exist in a constant state of just having everyone just be in this state of torture? Why do they need to exist just to have this pointless feud exist for eternity?
Women.
I mean, I can't think of a single reason why this would be the case.
Preventing either side from knowing that it's rigged from the
War profiteering? Are you serious?
start, really
That was rigged from the start.
prohibiting any sort of advancements. And you can also tell because she's wearing purple, and purple is between red and blue.
Oh,
it's now
shit.
1967, and we are finally at TF2. Good old TF2. The game—
Alright, this was all backstory, guys. This was important. You needed to know about Darwin fighting Saxton freaking Hale.
that's been around for nearly 2 decades and hasn't been updated for half of it. On one hand, these characters have a lot of complexity and things going on in their lives, but at the same time, they're doing exactly what the mercs have always been paid to do: fight for red or fight for blue. Also, Apple exists already.
What?
Sure. It's very pick and choosy what occurs here. There are—
Apple exists already weirds you out. But Theodore Roosevelt inventing stairs because he blew his legs off rocket jumping is normal?
are 18 mercs in TF2, 9 per side. It's unknown if they're all doppelgangers or why they get killed all the time on camera but continue to respawn. Answering both of these questions—
Wait, so the one part of the gameplay mechanics does not actually make sense in the lore?
the former, I have no idea. The latter, there's immortality machines. Is it
Alright, you make a good point. You make a good argument. There is Australium.
really that hard to believe that there could be, like, respawns in a controlled area? The point is, as long as these 18 mercs are fighting, nothing will change.
True, it's an eternal conflict. You see, ladies and gentlemen, this is very clearly a classic case of Darwinism at its finest. You see, because they are in a state of constant battle, nothing will ever change. The dichotomy of the world is very simple, and we are living in it. We are actually in the meet the team moment. Is this the meet the team that everyone was telling me about?
Doing a 9 to 5 where they kill each other. And I actually don't need to introduce all 18 mercs. Due to circumstances I'll get into, Miss Pauling actually develops a significantly stronger relationship with the red team. And as such, when things—
Wow, nepotism!
happen, we spend way more time with the red team, meaning that as a result, we know way more about them and they're far more prominent. That's not to say that blue team's useless, but roughly 90% of all the team-specific moments go to red. For example, one of the locations the team usually fights in is 2 and as a PR stunt, the administrator hired a filmmaker to market the mercenaries on red to justify all of the fighting in the local populace.
Oh my fucking god! They are filming propaganda movies! They are actually making money about this! They're making money off this endless war! These two families, the red and blue, the children of these brothers, have been locked in eternal conflict, manipulated from the sidelines to be a constant war, to just make money! They film Meet the Team. Meet the Team is what they actually filmed. That's insane.
And this ends up working pretty quickly, also in part because the town water supply has been riddled with lead on account of— well, you know. Oh.
Bullets! They poisoned the water supply with all the bullets.
Oh, by the way, the whole stunt leads to the film guy's death. It's used as a warning to keep everyone, like, not sharing their information. The administrator is not the type of boss who has casual Fridays. Like, to give an idea, Heavy and Pyro go to her firsthand and ask for weapons, and her first instinct is to blow everybody up.
That makes sense. That's what I would do as well. If I was in TF2 world, blowing myself up would sound even better than blowing myself up in the real world, which is pretty good. Because, to be honest, it's a pretty tempting notion sometimes. Listen, the intrusive thoughts don't always lose.
So let's start off with the more simple mercs and work our way up. Starting off with basically who's the mascot man, the Heavy.
Yeah, look at this guy. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. There's so much Rule 34 of this man. Not that I would know.
Russian man named Misha, whose family got sent to Siberia camps in 1941 when his father was...
Oh, shit. My grandmother was sent to Siberia camps in 1941. Is she Misha?
Part of the USSR counter-revolutions. After 3 months here, he leads his family out into the Siberian mountains where they hunt bears. Heavy does a bunch of stuff.
My grandmother didn't do any of that, actually, to be honest.
For his folks, yet he still finds...
She was there because she was running away from Nazis. And family members died of the cold and shit. Yeah, classic.
It's time for his own passions and relationships. He gets a PhD in Russian literature, he likes sandwiches, and...
This guy has a PhD in Russian literature?
Time for his own...
And is fighting just for the red team for eternity?
Passions and relationships. He gets a PhD...
Oh my fucking god. He's actually a genius. Bro's like Light Yagami, but instead of, you know, doing Light Yagami shenanigans, he just holds big fucking weapons, honestly based. I'm a smart guy. I'm not a doctor. I'm a fucking yapper on the internet.
PhD in Russian literature.
I believe in the art of the simple man. A life of simplicity is truly so much better spent than a life of overcomplication.
He likes sandwiches, and he especially cares for the team medic. Heavy's gonna remain this stoic and wise, friendly pal, who does in fact have a kill count that reaches the triple digits. Next, there's Sniper, Mick Mundy. He's an Australian and pisses more than 8
Oh my god.
people combined. That's an insane drop-off between people.
Wait, is that an actual lore drop? Is that real?
He's an Australian and pisses more than 8 people combined. That's
actually canon. He pisses more than 8 people combined. Wait, are these jars of piss filling behind him as time goes on? Waiting for his shot, filling jars with piss? Oh my fucking god, the lore is so good. This man has prostate cancer, but it's okay, he's Australian.
It's an insane drop-off between people.
There's just more and more jars filling up on what is going on?
His parents aren't all too jazzed about him being an assassin, with them
Understandable.
calling him a crazed gunman. He's
Understandable.
honestly just
His parents are probably more proud of him than my parents are of me, so that's fine.
a guy. He's probably...
No, I'm kidding. My parents are super supportive of the fact that I'm a YouTuber instead of a doctor or a lawyer. For sure, for real, honestly, not true.
the most normal. He just comes in, does his job, and leaves. Scout's real name is Jeremy. He's a Boston boy and the youngest of 8 brothers. Illiterate, egotistical, but at the very least, a quickster. And because of all the time he spent with Miss Pollen, he got a little crushy crush on her.
Oh!
Ooh. Now, Spy's a French guy who may
Boo! Boo! Boycott this game! Boycott this game!
or may not be the father
Wait, he throws the piss jars at enemies? No.
of Scout. He is. It's pretty much confirmed. Red Spy specifically is the dad of both Scouts, actually. He did both of the...
He's the dad of both Scots? He's the dad of Red Scott and Blue Scott? No.
Scout's moms last night. How
Scout.
embarrassing. Now here's a fun little fact. In Meet the Spy, the Red Spy is disguised before the Blue Sky shot between the eyes. He's acting as Scout, pretending to cry as the Red Spy got between his mom's thighs. Knees weak, arms are heavy. Slather myself in spaghetti.
On?
He's just shocked because someone actually got pictures of him doing someone's mom. That's a normal thing in this field of work.
Wait, this is canon? He snuck in as a spy, infiltrated the enemy base because they had pictures of him sleeping with someone else's mom? You're missing the Meet the Team context. I might have to watch the whole Meet the Team fucking animation shit. Because goddamn, I did not expect this lore to be this fucking insane. Listen, I love chaos, I love lore. This is literally up my alley.
Ludwig,
He got blackmailed.
aka
Ludwig!
Mr. Medic, has no doctorate, never went to school, and had his medical license revoked when a patient's skeleton went missing.
How does that even fucking happen? How did that even fucking happen?
But at least he has a pigeon named Archimedes. In a room full of psychopaths, Medic shines upon them and will prioritize exclusively his own goals.
Let's go, dude! Yes! Bro, controlled opposition at its finest. This right here, the type of guy that'll make a YouTube short out of your misery. This Medic guy Skeleton gone missing. This is the type of guy that would steal Jaden Animation's YouTube play button from a Mr. Beast video. Classic Ludwig, am I right? Zero morals, zero principles, zero spine. That was a joke. I like Ludwig. Still funny.
I think the engineer is the most vague. Red and blue Engies are both related. Red Engie,
Well, for some reason. Who cares why?
Conacher has 11 PhDs, has innovated the immortality machines, and
they have this guy that happened to have invented immortality on their squad.
And out of everyone, I think he's the one not showing his cards, in part due to how powerful his knowledge is compared to everyone else, even Medic. Travis Finnegan de Groot, better known as Demo Man, is a Scottish hyper-alcoholic cyclops. He comes from a...
Scottish hyper-alcoholic... Are you calling him a cyclops because he has an eye patch?
Rich family to associate success with the amount of jobs worked. Demo, for example, earns 7 figures through 3 jobs.
Based! Let's go! Man's on that grind set! He calls himself the Cyclops? Oh my fucking god. Bro!
His father worked 26 at one point. It's tradition for the de Groots to be up for adoption when young. He was only taken in when he blew up his adoptive parents and the Loch Ness Monster at the
So fucking based. If you're an orphan and you want to be noticed, blow up your parents and a Loch Ness Monster. They will never forget you.
Same time. One Halloween, he's offered a job to clean a library for a single nickel by a wizard. Yes.
Who dares disturb Merasmus the Magician? This is an eldritch castle of dark magic, not a pancake house. People are saying Merasmus the goat. And somehow magicians are canon? I mean, why should I be surprised?
A wizard named Merasmus, a 6,000-year-old figure. The only rule Demo has to follow is not open any of the books. So Demo opens the book now.
Oh my god, why the book?
Follow is not open any of the books. So Demo...
Bro, this book has a bomb in it! Why would you... That's how he lost his eye! He lost his eye because he opened a book, the Bombnomicon, and it blasts him. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god, dude. What is this lore?
Opens the book, now he has a haunted eye socket. Whatever, dude. Holy hot dogs, what the frick frack snick snack do I say about Soldier? Very stupid, master of war, master of rocket jumping, drinks so much lead water, Flint, Michigan would have a drought.
Oh my god, dude. This team is fucking insane. This is the craziest team I've ever seen in my life.
He's a lawyer, a patriot, and
Bro's the most American man to ever America. Bro eats freedom and shits eagles, okay? Holy shit.
Probably sleeps in a running washing machine. He wanted to fight in World War II, got rejected by every military
How? The military literally accepts anyone!
branch, went to Poland himself, and went on a massive rampage until he heard about the war ending in 1949.
Oh, he only heard about the war ending 4 years after it ended? What was he doing for those 4 years?
Reminder, World War II ends in 1945.
Oh my God.
He very likely removed a small country's worth of men from the population. And then there's
Oh, America the man! Holy crap! The most American man to ever America. Jeebus, Fleebus. Look at that guy.
Pyro. I don't know. They're my favorite. Pyro and Heavy are my favorites to play. They make me feel like the best player in the whole wide world. We don't know anything about Pyro. They're just happy to be here.
And they like lighting things on fire, I imagine.
I like all these characters, though. I sure am glad, despite the millions of deaths they've suffered by the player base, I'm glad a respawn machine prohibits that whole death thing from actually happening. Maybe it, like, makes the mercs forget that they died or something. I'm not so sure. What I do know is that the administrator and Miss do not want either side being friendly with each other.
It's crazy. And you have these fucking... This is a proxy war, ultimately. Like, I love how when you watch something like this, like... I know that this is all a meme. All these characters are funny and goofy. This guy lost his eye because he was sold as a child to a wizard and looked in his magic nuclear book, all right? Like, this guy has a PhD in Russia, but just likes the simple life, so instead he just carries around heavy artillery. Like, when you look at these backstories and look at these characters, they're just complete bumblefuck, random pieces of shit. But this is a proxy war. Done for complete money. Locking them in eternal conflict where they don't remember a constant state of death and rebirth. This is so dark. Watch Emesis Blue. I don't know what the fuck that is, but I want to dive deeper into TF2 lore. Leave 10,000 likes, and I will, okay? Like, as a simple example, this is the Clone Wars, All right, Palpatine controlling both sides of the Clone Wars, the Separatists versus the Republic, fighting at the same time, in a constant, endless state of battle where he actually takes everything and he absorbs all sorts of random shit. He controls the banks, he controls the people, he controls everyone's minds until everyone is whittled down at their bare bones nothing. And he controls everything at the very end, controls the Republic, crushes the Empire, and controls the world. He creates an empire out of the world. That is what's going on right now. You have this administrator sitting back and watching these people in endless conflict, reaping all the benefits of their endless, chaotic proxy war that is completely worthless. It's a tragic story, and it's hilarious at the same time. Oh my god.
Nor do they want progress on Red or Blue's end. Again, they wear purple. Like at one point, Red Demo and Blue Soldier become best friends and seemingly are gonna refuse to kill each other and maybe talk about their jobs and maybe even talk about their contracts. The possibility of this alone makes the administrator force upon them a friendship divorce. But Saxton, on the other hand...
Oh my god. They become friends, and that hurts the product. It hurts the market product. So they fucking create this reason to drive them apart. This is evil!
He's the cool boss in the office. His office desk is a grill. That's...
Yo, what? That's awesome!
Badass. Saxton invented the internet and buys all of Europe.
What?
He found the Yeti species...
Dude, Saxton's the fucking GOAT. This guy's the Escanor of TF2. Oh my god. Remember this man's backstory. He got high on Australium. When everyone ran out of Australium and became manlets, he somehow kept the powers for whatever reason. He jumps across the world to America. He creates the internet, buys Europe, invents the Yetis,
captured them, and then built a Yeti park exclusively to hunt the Yetis. And then
he found this species, bred them, created a Yeti park purely for the hunting of that species for sport. Bro's just him.
When the Yetis go extinct, he makes that a battlefield.
And of course they go extinct, duh. Mercenary Park, because he finds this ancient species, breeds them, and then murders them, hunts them to extinction. Oh my god!
I mean, what do I say?
You have nothing to say. He's just him.
Saxton Hale.
He's Saxton freaking Hale, bro.
4 to 6 years, the gravel...
It asks and ponders a very popular moral quandary. If you invent a species, is hunting them to extinction really immoral?
Wars will happen with these teams.
Let me know in the comment section below.
A lot is gonna happen, and even though they have an objective chronological order of events, it hardly matters. Plus, I forgot to write down the order, so I'm just gonna go in whatever feels right. Outside of the Meet the Team videos, the mercenaries do a couple of things to appease the public. One Christmas, the Blue Scout pile drives an old lady or something, and when they're on trial, the Blue Soldier causes so much of a ruckus that both of them end up in Elf and Malsantha respectively. And just to be safe, Blue Spy comes with them. While giving
that's justice!
A little boy a haircut, Old Nick returns.
I am Old Nick, the spirit of Australian Christmas, and I have come for your children. It is impossible to discuss TF2 lore without sounding like you need massive, massive medical, psychological intervention. Saxton Hale is just the stand of America. What?
I probably shouldn't do that anymore. Old Nick tries to abduct little Jack because he can, and
Sure! Classic Australian Christmas, where it's all about child trafficking instead of... Okay.
Self-defense, Jack moseys on over and offers him a lovely scarf that makes him fall asleep in excitement. Throughout the Halloween, some more stuff happens. Marasmus will show up and cause the
wizard!
Lot of problems, mostly over refusing to do the dishes and because someone brought a vegetable dip with hummus of all things.
Oh my god, hummus with vegetables? That's a crime. That's a fucking war crime. To the gulag.
That charcuterie board sucks if it has hummus as...
Wait, this is actually canon? I thought he was joking. Liar. Those dishes are yours, says Marasmus.
The best...
I love hummus. I love hummus too, but not with vegetables, okay?
Dip. Each year, new things will invade. Like Zechariah will show up,
Zechariah, meaning the ghost of the grandpa that gave the land to the children and started this whole conflict.
Horseless, headless horseman, and Demo...
The horseless, headless horseman.
man's other eye comes.
His other eye comes back, guys. They fucking don't forget. This is the Avengers Assemble of TF2. His other eye becomes a character.
Back to hunt as this monster monoculus. Sure. I understand.
A monster monoculus. It's like Bill Cipher invented the lore of TF2 just to fuck with people.
Why you drink now, Demo Man. Fortunately, at least one time Erasmus gets arrested because when returning to an expo, he discovers that Soldier made their home a raccoon sanctuary with an abundance of sour cream. They're roommates, by the way.
Erasmus the Wizard is roommates with Soldier, the guy who murdered Polish people for 4 years after the end of World War II because he didn't realize it ended. They are roommates, and he made it a raccoon sanctuary. I don't even...
I just forgot to add that. They lived with each other. Nice. Erasmus threatens to kill him, but Soldier took the come back from the dead stronger pills. And then an officer...
Soldier just became a Super Saiyan by accident. Come back from the dead stronger pills is canon.
Arrests him for this entire fiasco. In
You're asking Erasmus to leave?
1971.
All right, so this all happened between 1967 and 1971. Over the course of 5 years, Erasmus has been in prison, out of prison. The eyeball of the dude that the guy invaded came back as a monocular demon. I don't even know, man.
There's expiration date. Red gets the weekend off after successfully stealing a briefcase. When the team finds out that every time they used engineers' teleporters, the devices that they've been using for up to 4 years at this point, have riddled all of them with tumors. And
they all have cancer, too, in the canon. The whole squad, the whole team that's been using these teleporters for the whole time, for 5 years, all have cancer. That's a lore drop. Okay.
And they confirm this through the bread. I don't know how heavy is.
What the fuck? They tore bread in half and they found it full of tumors? The fuck's a bread tumor?
Never noticed this. So while trying to do something nice, Spy comes up with the idea to accomplish everyone's last wishes, but Scout does some shenanigans and nearly ruins the whole thing. But in actuality, he has a final wish to go on a date with Miss Pauling. After a montage, Scout basically fails all the teachings, so he just gives it the good old college try, even though I'm convinced Scout probably didn't even graduate high school. He sounds the briefcase missing alarm to summon Miss Pauling and wastes her yearly day off. Then Engie and Medic discover
She has wait, dude. She has 1 day off a year. And bro really thought this was the day to riz her. Bro thought this was the day to ask her out. While they all discovered they have bread cancer. And bro, you never ask someone out and by ruining their 1 day off.
Hey, those aren't tumors. Those are just the green virus, and only bread can get the green. So as long as no one teleported any bread and never does it again, there will be no problems.
So it turns out they don't have cancer. It's classic bread cancer that only affects bread.
But off screen, after getting a bucket as his last wish, Soldier was told at the start and
his last wish was a bucket. Bro's the most American man to ever do it.
I quote, teleport as much bread as you would like.
No.
So for the past 70 straight hours, Soldier has just been teleporting bread. So the bread just becomes a giant monster for over 4 years. This monster...
This is actually the plot. This is actually a plot. This is actually the plot of the story. That the guy is teleporting bread and creates a bread monster. The bread monster is actually canon in the game.
Around Europe.
And this is the lore explanation for the bread monster. Because they all thought they had cancer and died, so Soldier just teleported bread, but it turns out it was a specific type of cancer that only affected bread, so since he kept teleporting bread, it created a bio-engineered monster. This is the lore reason for... This is the greatest plot to ever exist.
I don't even want to think about what he's done if the military rejected him in every branch. Fighting happens, bing bong, explosion, death. Also every
and they kill bread cancer. Guys, I have consumed a lot of lore in my day. I have never been this confused.
Game of TF2 is canon. You can't prove otherwise.
Right.
And then it happens. Redman
No!
and Plutarch rent the Alamo and propose a truce.
No! Red and Blue finally team up?
Turns out Gray was the one to call him there, taking out his brothers once and for all.
Wow. The smart brother that their father tried to kill as a child because he was too ugly.
One fell swoop, and the gravel wars are over.
Damn.
With no more paychecks, and with both teams' bosses out of the picture, all mercenaries are about to go home and pack up and leave. But then Miss Pauling reveals, oh wait, guys, Saxton got a new job for you. Just go beat up the machines. Throwing everyone back.
Wait, so after all this, they find a way to continue the proxy war anyway, making it man versus the machines. And they found a way to make this canon.
Into work to protect Manco facilities from Grayman and his machines. And they're only getting paid because robots run on money somehow. I feel
AI that runs on money. It's just another fucking scam, locking them in another proxy war to truly prove that there is no end.
Like regular paper would be easier, but hey, that's fine. Heavy like sandwiches. In this man versus machine period, there's still more stuff going on despite both teams working together now. Medic figures out how to revive people within a 5-second rule.
Let's fucking go. 5-second rule for fucking necromancy, I take it.
And the Man Brothers are back as ghosts. Now,
and that coal will power our pregnancy machine. Don't worry, he's just dead for a moment. He'll be back in a... What the fuck?
Now, technically, Plutarch won the Gravel Wars by 7 seconds, but since neither of them could do the paperwork, they gotta go to Soldier, who, might I remind you, is a lawyer, where he...
What? Wait, so this team of mercenary idiots are PhDs, lawyers, inventors, doctors that lost their licenses for stealing skeletons. Soldier's a lawyer? The guy that murdered countless Polish people because he didn't realize that the Second World War ended is a lawyer. Chat's also saying he's a priest. No. You're joking.
He reveals the winner is whoever can go to an afterlife last. So
this is why we mentioned earlier that heaven and hell are canon. Because somehow, for some reason, this war is still going on between the brothers because they are the saltiest people of all time that even after death, they are still competing. Who could stay out of the afterlife the longest is still a reason to continue a pointless war.
So the brothers decide they're gonna send each other to hell.
Alright, and that's the canon. And they send each other... What the fuck is this image?
And the Gravel Wars are back on.
Let's freaking go, baby!
For a little bit. Wow, cool. Yeah. Despite everything changing, nothing has changed. This period of man versus machine content takes us through a majority of 1972, and nothing would change until it didn't not change.
Alright.
Gray
Braxton Hale?
Man takes a step back and changes his approach to this new war. He surrenders and then challenges Saxton to the man.
No, not Saxton!
And co-challenge. A fight that states, if the challenger wins, they get the entire company. Gray declares Saxton will fight the current company CEO, and knowing that Saxton will only spare babies, Gray promoted his daughter to the CEO, making Saxton instantly forfeit. And
oh my god, the fucking craziest plot twist of all time. Saxton Hale so manly, he would destroy anyone except for babies. So after Saxton accepts the challenge, he promotes a baby to become the CEO. So Saxton has to forfeit because he's too much of a man to fight a baby, even though he could literally bring people back from the dead.
Instantly ending the challenge, throwing away Manco. But could you imagine if
Saxton, what a man, what a man.
Saxton just ignored it and just threw that child out the window like a discus. This is the same story where people...
That would be awesome. Santa Claus in this canon is literally a child trafficker, bro. Come on, dude.
Died over hats.
They murdered each other for their hats in the canon of TF2.
It's not impossible. The tragic failure on Hale's part results in all mercs losing their job to AI.
Why is this so real? Why is this so real? Because people had ethics. They lost everything to AI. Isn't this just exactly what's happening to fucking artists today? Because people had ethics. AI is taking everything. Oh my god, what is even happening right now? Why is this so real?
administrator tells all
Losing your jobs to AI is actually part of the TF2 canon?
of her employees to scatter and go into hiding, and this only becomes an issue for 3 of the characters. Soldier needs to move out of his castle, and somehow his Scout's helping him load his stuff. Soldier breaks both of Scout's arms. Now, right before Spy leaves, Scout asks for help attaining his savings at the 2-Fort Bank, and this turns out to be exclusively Tom Jones merch. Thinking,
let's go, dude! Long live the banks, baby.
that his death will significantly increase the value of it. And this
He invested all of his income over the last 5 years of endless warfare. He invested it all in merch, hoping that inevitably the guy dies and the merch goes up in value. Now that's fucking genius.
ends up leading to stupid bickering and the 2-Fort mayor trapping the 2 in the bank, only letting them out if they agree to go to jail. Now, Scout, I understand falling for this, but how did Spy not at least attempt to leave? Was he setting a good example? Did he want father-son time? They've been co-workers for like 4 years. Scout seems like a good friend to see a couple times a month, but not really like living with him, contrary to popular belief. I'm not all too interested in getting arrested in New Mexico. Now it's late.
True! Walter doesn't like any of that shit.
1972 to early 1973, probably. I don't know. I wasn't there. 6 months have passed since the team split, and the administrator has a plan in the main
fucking god. Team Fortress, Deadly Exodus.
In comic run. During all this time, Australium has been quickly diminishing, and there's not much left on the planet. Yet she somehow managed to net 89,000 tons of it. So
wait, there's no Australium left, and the entire continent of Australia has devolved into man-children. However, the director has 89,000 tons of Australium and is still manipulating people for more money. Remember, Australium is worth more than gold. And despite having 89,000 tons, okay, which is 2,000, which is 1,000 kilos. A ton is 1,000 kilos, right? So, 89,000 tons. I just want to see how much this is worth. All right, so we're simply at 89 million kilos. How much is gold? Just curious. How much is gold worth right now? Value of gold. Yes. Per kilo. Right now, gold is around $80,000 a kilo. So this is worth more than that, right? And we've already established that it's 89 million kilos. Times the $80,000. 777, that was the price. All right, we are looking at more money than anyone has in the world. All right, this is how much money the administrator has, and that's just the value of gold, okay? This is just the value of gold right now. Now, remember, Australium is worth substantially more than gold, especially now that it's that it's being gone from the world, right? She is richer than Seto Kaiba, and she's still finding a way to manipulate people to fight to the death for more money. Oh my god. Bro, this is some Mr. Beast shit. I have collected all gold in the world, and now I am having people fight to the death over more of it.
So Miss Pauling is tasked to find as many mercs as possible and find any remaining Australian. So she looks for the red team and starts with—
Why? Why does she need more Australian? Bro, she literally already fucking has all of that shit.
anyone who stayed in the Southwest. Soldiers currently doing celebrity house tours, starting at Tom Jones's house, which leads to his death in the process.
Why would they kill Tom Jones? Just random. Why?
This hardly matters. Also, Marasmus is Tom's current roommate.
Marasmus the Wizard is one of the main characters somehow. Marasmus the Wizard was Tom's roommate who gets killed. Soldier comes back. Whatever the wizard does, he cannot rid himself of Soldier.
But not anymore. Next, they find
because they killed. Right, yeah.
Depressed CEO Pyro at this place called Frontier Engineering, where his passion for arson is reignited by his pals. And
let's fucking go. He ended up he ended up not being an arsonist and became a CEO, but was depressed, finding no meaning in his life. So they reignited his passion for arson. This is fucking crazy.
And Demo, he's just a sad guy.
Right.
He just jumps back. He jumps back in pretty instantly. Next up, Spy and Scout still in jail.
Still in jail. Let's fucking go.
Pauling and Pyro go to burn books.
He was also the most successful CEO ever. I believe that.
On their trail, using all the resources and his own immortality machine to stop them.
Right.
While Demo and Soldier go to court trying to free their big old buds. They fail.
No!
So now there's a public execution.
No! Wait! Not only did they fail to free them, but they also end up winding up on the gallows. They fail as lawyers so badly, they end up getting the death penalty. Oh my fucking god. This is the craziest lore dive I've ever done in my life. I have never seen shit like that. You see, Oompaville and I have a very similar channel trajectory. We were both talking about internet drama, and we are slowly finding new areas. He's diving more into conspiracy theories and history. I am diving more into lore of random shit. But you do realize, if he would have started with TF2 lore, his entire channel would be lore dives. And if I would have started out with some crazy flat earth theory, I would have become a conspiracy theorist. We were one butterfly wing beat away from completely different trajectories in life. I have been defeated by lore for the first time.
And before anything happens, Miss Pauling goes in and goes, nuh-uh, instantly convincing the town to give up.
Wait, so they were convicted to the death penalty. 2 people defended them, and just for defending them, they also got the death penalty. One woman shows up, says no, and they're all freed?
Women.
Ain't no way! This is insane. This is insane!
Thank you, Leadwater, for poisoning the town and saving the day. Then
Classic Leadwater, every time.
the team splits up to look for Heavy and Sniper. Pyro, Soldier, and Scout all go to Siberia, while Pauling, Demo, and Spy go to Australia.
Why the fuck are those the only options?
The Siberia team finds Amelia Earhart's place of plane crash,
Right, of course.
finding her remains in a hot dog suit.
They find the remains of Amelia Earhart in a hot dog suit. Why would they do that?
Siberia team finds Amelia Earhart's place of plane crash, finding her remains in a hot dog suit, and after smothering themselves in honey, they attract baby bears. This is when Heavy shows up and
Why are there grizzly bears in Siberia?
gives that bear a
Is that a thing?
stern talking to.
Wait, maybe there are actually bears in Siberia now that I think about it. Bears in Siberia. Yep, there are Siberian brown bears in Siberia. Goddamn, that's crazy. All right, the more you know.
This crew goes over to Heavy's house, and Jana,
They eat the bear?
I think that's how you say her name. I'm gonna say it like that. Please don't yell at me. One of Heavy's sisters gets a boyfriend, and his name is Soldier.
Oh my god! Heavy's sister dates Soldier.
That's not Soldier's name. His name's actually Mr. Jane Doe.
Mr. Jane Doe. They couldn't even do Mr. John Smith.
Oh, and then the family decides to go back to America because Siberia's cold.
Siberia is fucking cold.
And also cold. Right as this happens, the Australia team makes it to Australia, where they see firsthand how no Australium is a bummer for the populace. And the gang spends about a
Like the whole fucking continent is just down on their luck. Shit out of Australium. Fucking suffering. And meanwhile, the administrator has 89,000 tons of Australium in a vault and she's still finding a way to try to get more? Capitalism. At its fucking finest. Holy shit.
week in Australia. But while that is happening, Saxon Hale
Saxton Hale! He's him. He's back. Let's go.
Finds his-
The Escanor of gaming.
ex working for Charles Darwin, where Charles offers to get Manco back in exchange for some Australian to keep the endangered animals alive. And then the other team makes it to
Wait, excuse me?
Manco back in exchange for some Australian to keep the endangered.
Is this a fucking trophy? Why are they... His trophy animals are all alive. He's Charles Darwin. He invented animals or some shit. They're the last of their breeds. He keeps them like trophies on the wall, but just on the other side of the glory holes, he fucking has the rest of the animals because he has ethical... He invented zoos. He has ethical taxidermy. Living trophy mounts of endangered animals. A Himalayan wildebeest, a snow leopard, so I can look into their hilarious defeated eyes anytime I like. He keeps living animal trophies to look in their defeated eyes. He is the least ethical anti-animal abuse creature of all time. Charles Darwin. Humanity has reached a zenith. Holy shit. They're the last of their breeds, actually. When they die, their kind will be gone forever. But he keeps them to look into their defeated eyes in animal glory holes. This is the fucking worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Injured animals alive. And then the other team makes it to Australia. Scout and Heavy are tasked with going to Ayr Rock, where they stumble upon Saxton and Maggie. This
on a rock
will be important.
This is the oddest flex in anime, for sure. Keeping the animals alive just to stare into their defeated faces when they know that they're the last of their kind. They know that when they die, they will be extinct, so he stares into their broken eyes. Yeah, that's the fucking oddest flex in anime.
Everyone else needs to go to New Zealand.
Why? Why, though?
As supposedly, all the last supply is over there. Only problem is that New Zealand decided to go underwater.
And you thought you had it all figured out. And the curveball of all time just goes around and slaps you in the face. The curveball of all time. New Zealand is Canon Atlantis in Team Fortress 2. They built a giant glass dome over the country and sunk it to the bottom of the ocean. They lived here for years. It must have been a utopia, a paradise under the sea, but something happened.
The entire city is at the bottom of the ocean.
What? Of course it is.
Because one scientist said so. He said,
oh my fucking God.
The world was gonna end. It didn't. To counteract this,
the scientist said the world was gonna explode. The solution? Sinking New Zealand. The twist? The world did not explode. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. God, I'm so happy we do lore dives on this channel. God damn it. 10,000 likes for more TF2 lore.
Ray sends out a new team that's actually Team Fortress Classic.
They send the Team Fortress 1 team.
Alongside the medic, who does not give a sloppy string slackleberry shoot about needing to hunt his old friends.
Right, because the medic, as we know, is a morally gray guy that invented bread cancer. This lore is fucking killing me. I'm dying.
And as this happens, Soldier, Jana, and Spy sneak into the Australian Navy and kindly ask to borrow a submarine.
Do they have... Wait. Look at this. Hata. This is crazy.
And Spy sneak into the...
This is the weirdest panel I've ever seen in my life. Why did they do a fucking romantic neck snap? The two of them together, like fucking Itadori and... God, Toto... neck snapping him in perfect harmony with smiles on their faces. This is a regular innocent man working in the Australian Navy. Yeah, he fucking became a twink because he ran out of Australium. But what? This is crazy. Life goals, honestly, true.
The Australian Navy and kindly ask to borrow a submarine. Miss Pauling and Demo find Sniper's house where Sniper nearly takes him out, and he found out he's adopted.
Why does any of that matter?
But this means Sniper's all good with going to New Zealand, and the whole gang goes on...
Because his parents died. He found that he's adopted, but he also found that his parents died, so he doesn't mind just fucking joining the team again. That's fucking plot for you.
Down to the underwater. Don't ask where Pyro was during this time. There was no explanation. In New Zealand, the crew discovers Sniper's real parents, revealing that he's not a true Australian, and that explains why Australium never gave him superpowers. And
that makes sense, honestly. After all the Australium, he never got powers because he was adopted. That makes sense, yeah.
And his real name is Mundy Mundy.
The twist! You have forever known him!
And that explains why Australium never gave him superpowers, and
You forever knew him as Mick Mundy, when his real name is...
Mundy
Mundy! God, now that's a twist. Holy shit, I'm shaking.
Mundy. I've heard Slurpees with better names. Also, it turns out Sniper's parents they're kind of dicks. His dad wasted all the Australium to paint test rockets to space while his mom takes the last one. And to rub like 14 pounds of salt into Sniper's big old flesh wound.
Right.
His dad steals the submarine, never to be seen again.
What?
And then the classic mercenaries shoot Sniper, killing him instantly.
Why would any of that happen at all? This is the worst parent of all time.
When the classic team returns with the red team,
the Sniper just stay dead? Oh my God. That's the saddest way to ever kill off a character. I have never seen a more tragic character death in my life. This guy, we've been following him for years. For years. In battles and journeys. He was an ally, a teammate, a friend. He finds out his parents are not his real parents. He finds out his actual parents are in New Zealand, Atlantis. He goes down, his dad steals a submarine, launches his mom into space, says he never loved him. Turns out his name is Mundy. Then he just randomly gets killed by some other guy. Rest in piss, for real, for real. Holy shit. Holy shit. For real, for real. God damn. He learns his real name is Mundy. His parents are assholes, gets killed off screen.
Decides to do a final Manco facility invasion where he gets the administrator's remaining Australium until Classic Heavy thinks to himself, hey, I want to be immortal. Why am I making this shriveled raisin man immortal? So he rips out Gray's immortality machine, leaving him to perish and taking him out of the story as Gray's...
Oh my fucking... That's the saddest way... That's the saddest way to die! I can't believe it. I just went over the sniper death, and this is even sadder somehow. Remember, this guy's dad hated him as a child because he was ugly, even though he was super smart. So he tried to get him eaten by eagles. That didn't work. So this guy ended up coming back, killing his other brothers, who were both hooked up to immortality machines. He's hooked up to immortality machines. Someone else doesn't like him. He pulls out his immortality machine and watches him die.
Machines are about to do their invasion. Soldier and Janna are being interrogated by Classic Pyro until Janna removes her hand to blow up Classic Pyro, Pauling and...
What the fuck?
Inspire about...
Blow up Classic Pyro?
Classic Pyro until Janna removes her hand to blow...
Is this inflation? Holy shit! Is the Pyro cynical all along? Waiting for his moment for an inflation moment?
Up Classic Pyro, Pauling and Spire about to take some cyanide until Heavy and Scout show up.
Nice.
Woohoo! But just kidding, it's Classic Spy and Demo. Then Soldier and Janna appear, show Classic Spy how to turn his head around like an owl, and Janna punches Pauling so hard that kinetic energy knocks the Classic Demo Man to the ground, where the spy chokes him with handcuffs.
What the fuck death scene is that? They punched him, the air in front of him, and...
Across the base, Medic revives Sniper as he has a nice moment realizing how much his adopted parents love him.
Oh my god! Wait, so Sniper dies, goes to heaven. He meets his adopted parents. Turns out they do love him. He gets a great moment. He loves being over there. And then Medic revives him.
Once and for all, accepting his job not as a crazed gunman, but as an assassin. And when he wakes up, Classic Heavy just starts yelling. He sucks. He's a jerk. I hate him. I hope he shrivels. The red team skedaddles, but nearly gets all their blood removed from the blood-sucking robots.
Right, that makes sense, obviously.
But it's fine, because Demo Man, having an alcoholic withdrawal, has taught his vital organs to produce alcohol, meaning that it is running through his veins and poisons the robots.
That is the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. I can't believe it. I've seen a lot of lore. I've seen a lot of impressive victories. But I have never seen the greatest fight scene of all time. Guys, this is huge. He's such a drunk. He taught his vital organs to produce alcohol instead of blood. So when the blood-sucking robots came to absorb his blood, they absorbed alcohol instead. They got alcohol poisoning and died. He weaponized alcoholism. He killed Skynet with liver cancer. This is the greatest thing I've ever witnessed. The greatest goddamn power-up I've ever seen in my life. Holy shit. I am flabbergasted. This is the greatest fight scene of all time. Madara versus the 5 Kage. Sit down. Sit down. He poisoned robots with alcohol of his blood alcohol levels because he taught his organs to produce alcohol because he's so good at being drunk. Man is literally built different. This is Lee taking off his training weights times 10.
The final fight begins. Scout, Heavy, Saxon, and Maggie.
Oh, let's fucking go. Saxton is here.
Land from a...
He even yells his name like it's an attack move. He's so cool.
Plane with the team weapons. Pyro melts classic Scout and classic Soldier. Spy and Sniper get classic NG and classic Sniper. And on their way back, they stumble onto a near-death Scout. Spy disguises himself as Tom Jones and announces how proud he is of his son going down this path. And Scout goes out smiling, finally knowing once and for all his father was Tom Jones, but actually Spy.
Yeah, not exactly a super satisfying ending. It's like, your father is proud of you, but the real father morphed into the fake father, so he could think that the fake father was proud of him. The real father got to say, okay. Tragic shit. Tragic shit.
He doesn't die, by the way.
Obviously not. None of the TF2 guys die.
This is TF2. The good guys live forever.
They do. The good guys are all immortal, and that's canon. The respawning, that's canon. That's because they just... Goku's fucked if he ever runs into the TF2 squad.
In heaven, God and Scout are home dogs. They have foosball tables. They send Tom Jones to soup.
Why is this angel baby snapping the neck in heaven of Tom Jones?
For heaven, and Scout gets to revive himself.
See you December 4th, 1987. He just casually tells him he'll be dead in 15 years. Wait. No, that's not the date of the bite of 87 from FNAF, right? The bite of 87 date. No fucking shit. No, that's November 13th. Holy crap, that was terrifying me. Oh my god, I got so afraid for a second that this guy would get killed in FNAF 15 years later. Bro. Did anything actually exciting happen? Wait! His Scout's name is Jeremy, and the victim of the bite of 87 is also Jeremy? Oh my god, dude. That's crazy. Alright.
Back on the battlefield, all the fighting is fighting, ending off with a Heavy versus Heavy fight. It's mostly going toward Red Heavy's win, until Classic Heavy puts on Gray's Australian device and stains Medic's
puts on Australian device, okay.
Perfectly good coat with strawberry jam. Now, Medic was a German who was very likely in World War II.
Probably, yes. He probably committed insane amounts of war crimes. Bro probably was the inspiration for most of Mr. Beast's videos.
So he's going straight to hell. But during this time, Medic stole the souls of either the Classic or Red mercenaries, meaning that the devil owns only a 1/9 of his souls.
Medic is a Nazi scientist, so went to hell, so made a deal with Satan there. If you could call me a car. So that's 1 vote for hell and 8 for heaven.
But in exchange for 2 more of those souls, he gets brought back for 50 years. Now, Medic reveals that he stuffed baboon uteruses in Classic Heavy, which...
What the fuck?
50 years. Now, Medic...
At one point, yes. Now it's a detonator. Frankenstein, but I shot. How? Is that a pen? Could I trouble you for a moment? More of an inductor, really. I'm terrible at naming things. Anyway, it induces labor. Oh my fucking god. It induces labor in the baboon uterus I put inside you. He put an impregnated baboon uterus inside this motherfucker with a button that if he pushes the button, it activates labor of the baboon. This is the fucking craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. Bro makes Mangala look like an amateur. Holy fuck, German science best in the world, am I right, Stronheim?
Reveals that he stuffed baboon uteruses in...
Pregnant baboon uteruses. Remote-controlled pregnant baboon uteruses.
Classic Heavy, which baffles him so much, it provides Red Heavy with enough time to pull out Gray's immortality machine, which drains the rest of the life force. It's all over, Red wins, Australium is gone forever. Then it's revealed during all of this adventure, Engineer's been with the administrator, rationing the remaining Australium that they have, and keeping her deceased for upwards of several hours. She only has about 6 months to live, and she just goes, let's just ball, I don't give a hoot. And she goes, all or nothing, uses the rest of it at once, gives her 1 hour of youth. And oh man.
Okay, alright, she becomes the supervillain at the end, uses all that shit.
And the finale comic, the finale comic of this is crazy. It doesn't exist.
No. No!
There
8 years? That was made in 2017!
was no finale.
Oh my fucking god, you're joking. Did they do this on purpose? No.
Why does this keep happening?
Oh my fucking god, there's no way. Valve, you pieces of shit. Bro, 10,000 likes. I'll watch Make the Team. I'll watch Meet the Team. 10,000 likes. I'll keep going. Team Fortress 2 lore.
The Valve, the creators of TF2, are very bad at finishing things.
Yeah,
they like making good games, but don't really like counting to 3. The last update for TF2 was 2017. That's over 6 years ago. Finish the comic. 1 issue left, but no! We don't get to see it. We don't get to see anything. So here's what I would guess. I think Saxton would punch Charles Darwin in the face and refuse Manco. I think Elizabeth and Helen could be the same person, and she was gonna destroy the Manco legacy, which is why the story never escalates through the Gravel Wars. And I think all of the mercs would have found some new jobs, some together, some doing their own things, and in the end, it doesn't matter. TF2 mostly lives on via the community.
Yeah, that's actually insane. They teased the new issue recently? No way!
Who, you know, they got some good things like TF2 Classic, and then they got some bad eggs like every community does. Treat others how you want to be treated, guys.
True. Toxic people in a fandom of popular media?
Don't be bucket dippers, be good people. Well, that's all, folks. Look at this sad statistic and feel guilty. Here's a GamerSupps code. Hey, Tyler, there's someone behind you. I love doing that joke. I hope that freaks someone out. Really?
Didn't work on me because my dad's not here. Got him.
I don't have much else to add.
Weaponized depression, ladies and gentlemen, can't get me.
All I could say is, oh, I don't know, oh, I don't know. Finish the comic!
Understandable. That was a fucking banger. Chupo, you absolute legend. Thank you so much, Chupo, for doing what you do and diving into lores of things that actually happen. Holy crap, this was one of the wildest lore dives I've ever been on. 10,000 likes, and I will do a fucking dive into Meet the Team. Emis's Blue is another thing that everyone's been recommending to me. I have no idea what the fuck that's supposed to be. It's apparently very long. Thank you for being here. God damn, this was one of the rides of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever become alcoholics, remember to teach your organs to produce alcohol instead of blood in case blood-sucking robots try to kill you, so you could give them alcohol poisoning and reverse Uno card and kill them instead. Thank you for being here. This has been the weirdest lore dive of all time. Definitely putting it for pure chaos into A tier on the Nuxanor lore tier list, which is a thing that exists and might be linked in the description if I remember to put it there. Bye! Stay weird, fam! If you made it to the end, click one of these 2 videos, which also will definitely get me canceled. See you live on King. Stay weird, fam!